BaldurNBA NBA preview is back, now with the 7 seeds. As the 7th seed in the East, I have the Boston Celtics. They are a better team now than they were last year. I really like their team and what they have done. They finished last season with 40 wins and 42 losses, but they actually had the second best record in the East since the All-Star break, and 14-7 when Isaiah Thomas played. They eventually got swept by the Cavs in the first round. The Celtics have won a league-leading 17 championships, the last one coming in 2008, back when they had Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen in their first year together. With them were players like Rondo, Perkins, James Posey, PJ Brown and many more. Let's see what the Celtics did this summer. They drafted Terry Rozier at 16, RJ Hunter at 28 and Jordan Mickey at 33. Other players they got were David Lee, Amir Johnson and Perry Jones III. Players they lost were Brandon Bass, Gerald Wallace, Luigi Tatome and Phil Pressey. What stands out is probably getting David Lee and Amir Johnson. They will improve their team both with their play and experience. Let's see how the rotation might possibly look like. In the middle, at least during the preseason, has been Tyler Zeller. He could be backed up by Kelly Olynyk. Amir Johnson could also see time at the center, as well as the 4 spot. He can provide a shot blocking presence that the Celtics have lacked. Then at power forward there's David Lee. He saw a big dip in his minutes last year in Golden State. The year before that he was averaging 18 points and 9 rebounds. We'll see if he can bring any of those numbers to Boston. He'll then be backed up by Jared Sullinger, who has lost some weight this offseason. A good player, and he could start in front of Dave Lee. Then at small forward they have Jay Crowder, who came to the Celtics last season in the Rondo trade. And you can say that the Celtics got the better end of that trade, because Crowder outplayed Rondo in the second half of the season. Backing up Crowder could be Evan Turner and the 6'11 Perry Jones. At shooting guard could be Avery Bradley, a nightmare on the defensive end for other teams' guards. He'll be backed up by RJ Hunter and James Young, who only played 31 games last year. He's a guy that could make a jump if he stays healthy. And then at point guard there's Marcus Smart, who had a decent rookie season. Will be a question if he can hold Isaiah Thomas on the bench behind him. Isaiah has said he would like to start at some point. He has blossomed in Boston since he came from the Suns. Like I said before, the Celtics were 14-7 with him playing. A real go-to guy for them, averaging 19 points and 5 assists in those 21 games. Behind those two is Terry Rozier, an explosive point guard. Question is, how much time will he see behind Bradley, Smart and Thomas in front of him? We'll have to wait and see. It's been awesome to see Brad Stevens, the head coach of the Celtics, and what he has been able to do with the Celtics since he came there. He made the playoffs with last year's team, even though they had one of the most changed starting lineups in the NBA. Plus the Celtics got better after trading Jeff Green and Rajon Rondo. The team as a whole is a deep team, with guys that put effort into the game. Danny Ainge has done a great job collecting assets without really tanking the team. I mean, he has piled up the draft picks for the future, which I went a little bit into with the Brooklyn Nets preview, but let's take a better look at the Celtics draft pick status for future drafts. In 2016 they have 3 first-round draft picks and 3 second-round draft picks. In 2017 they have 2 first-round picks and their second-round pick. In 2018 they have 2 first-round picks and their own second-round pick. So they have a lot of flexibility for the future and a lot of tradable assets, plus cap space for the next season. So the Celtics are in good hands. To finish things off, the Celtics have a great coach in Brad Stevens. Players that want to play and play hard. I would be surprised if they don't make the playoffs. I can see them from the 8th seed all the way to the 4th seed. Yes, I think they're capable of surprising people. We'll see if Danny Ainge can get a big name player with all those assets. The Celtics are in a good spot, without tanking. On to the next team. As the 7th seed in the West, I have the New Orleans Pelicans. They finished last season in the 8th seed and won 45 games and lost 37. The Pelicans have twice been to the conference semifinals, both times when they were the Hornets, in '93 as the Charlotte Hornets and last time in 2008 as the New Orleans Hornets. Back when they were led by Chris Paul, Tyson Chandler, David West, Peja Stojakovic and more. Let's see the moves the Pelicans made this summer. Players they got were Alonzo G, Kendrick Perkins and their new coach in Alvin Gentry. Players they lost were Jimmy Fredette and Tony Douglas. No big moves roster-wise, but the thing that stands out is that they hired Alvin Gentry as their head coach. So you can expect that this team's pace will increase a lot. the Pelicans were 27th in pace in the NBA last season. Let's see how the rotation might possibly look like. In the middle is Omer Asik, solid first season in New Orleans, 7 points and 10 rebounds, slippery hands. Behind him is Shaqtin full legend Kendrick Perkins. Not sure how many minutes he will get, because I'm sure Anthony Davis will get a lot of minutes at the 5. Now Anthony, of course, is the starting power forward. Incredible season last year, had one of the best PER numbers in NBA history. He averaged 24 points and 10 rebounds. You wonder how much higher these stats can get with the new, faster playing style under Alvin Gentry. He'll definitely benefit from it. Like I said earlier, the Pelicans were the 4th slowest team in the NBA, and Gentry's teams have always been one of the top 3 fastest teams in the NBA. Anthony also led the league in blocks for the 2nd consecutive season. He's been adding a 3-point shot this offseason, so the sky's the limit for this dude. Only 22 years old. Behind him there's Ryan Anderson, who'll get around 30 minutes a night, gets them threes, and is a nice fit in Gentry's system. Then at small forward there's Dante Cunningham, backed up by Quincy Pondexter. At shooting guard there's Eric Gordon, in the last year of his contract, $15.5 million this year. Hasn't been able to stay healthy, a shame because he was really good. He averaged 22 points per game in his 3rd year for the Clippers, played for Team USA in the World Championships, and it's been downhill ever since then. His knees haven't been good to him. I doubt he re-signs with the Pelicans, at least not anything close to the contract he's now on. Then behind him as the 6th man there's Tyreke Evans, who could play the 3, but I think he'll do well with the 2nd unit. Then there's Jrue Holiday at point. He's had some injury problems ever since he came from Philadelphia. When he's right, he's a good solid player, good 3-point shooter, and takes good care of the ball. Question is, can he get healthy? Played 40 games last year and 34 games the year before that. We'll have to wait and see. Backing him up is Norris Cole, who played well for the Pelicans off the bench after he came from Miami. This team has the possibility to be great offensively under Alvin Gentry, especially if Holiday and Gordon can get healthy, and that's a big if. If they aren't healthy this coming season, the Pelicans should look to get some other guys to go along with Anthony Davis. If you can get 70 games from those guys, they can get 55 to 60 wins next year. But that's a lot to ask for, from guys who have lost a serious amount of games for multiple seasons. The thing that I think will hinder the Pelicans from being elite is that they aren't very good defensively, and Gentry is more of an offensive coach than a defensive one. The Pelicans were only 23rd in the league in defensive efficiency. While the offense wasn't so bad, they were 9th in offensive efficiency. Question is, are these the right pieces to build around Anthony Davis? I'm not sure. We'll see what they get when they get rid of Gordon. To finish things off, this is a playoff team. I'd be surprised if they don't make it. They could finish anywhere from 8 to 3 if they are healthy. At this point, I think the 2nd round of the playoffs is their ceiling. That's it for the 7 seeds. Like, subscribe, and peace.